With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu. At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
What up, everybody? Supernatural family, we are back. I know, few and far between lately, we are just the worst. But we are here to finish season 11 of Supernatural. It is episode 17 through the finale of season 11. I am Matt. With me, as always, is Lauren. And you can like, subscribe, share, follow on Hops Geek News is where you can find us, whether it's podcasting, whether it's social media, patreon.com/HopsGeekNews, where you get ad-free episodes, early episodes, all of that good jazz. But that's where we're at, man. Come hang out with us in Discord. We got a Supernatural channel, one for non-spoilers and one for spoilers, because there are some people that haven't finished it yet. It took me a couple of years. I'm a newbie. I don't think I'm a newbie anymore. We've done a few Supernatural panels. I like to think that I'm not so new. But anyways, as we finish this up, we're drinking Together Forever. Actually, it's from Burial Brewing, their collab with Bissell Brothers. It is
the Bissell collab. See, if I knew how to read, I would have confirmed that when you asked me.
Yes, it's the cryptic confluence of youthful genius, double IPA. It will plague you too soon. These things always do. Before the eyes have learned to lie, a blinding clarity in a world blurred by mistakes, burden dressed in awe, fever dream that never cools. A 12th anniversary collaboration with the fine folks at Bissell Brothers Brewing, mashed with Epiphany, Trikel, whatever, and oats. Double dry hops with Galaxy, Eclipse, and Bissell's own Citra Lot, boosted with Eclipse, Hop Keef, and Citra Incognito. Artwork is done by David Paul Seymour, and I happen Lauren also had it, and that's what she was drinking, and she chose to do it because Death is in this part.
Well, and as you're reading this, and you asked me before, is that the collab with Bissell Brothers? And I'm like, it's Burial.
Like, it's Burial. I was like, yes, Lauren, is it the collab? I was like, is it also Bissell Brothers? She was like, it's Burial, you idiot.
Which makes it even better.
Sailboat is a schooner.
Winchester Brothers, Bissell Brothers, and it's their 12th anniversary. We're wrapping up 11 to kick off 12.
That's right. Bissell Brothers out of Portland, Maine. I like them. So plus Asheville. This beer is really good too. Man, I love Bissell. I love Burial. I love Bissell. I have soup juice still, but I wanted to save that.
I drank my last soup juice right before Superman.
Tough. Well,
Ian came over and he hadn't had one in a while, so we popped it open.
That makes sense. Well, speaking of, episode 17 is Red Meat.
Oh, this is delicious.
It is. It's so damn good.
Oh my goodness.
Beer, but also this show. But we got werewolves, and one just shot Sammy. While Dean wants to focus on getting Lucifer out of Cass, Sam finds a case and insists he needs a distraction. As Dean is trying to rescue a young couple from werewolves after getting a tip from a local bartender.
Emphasis on tip.
Yeah.
Not in a dirty way.
Turns out they're actually a werewolf themselves. So they think Sam is dead. The husband convinces Dean to leave him. This is after the husband suffocates Sam and he passes out because Sam is always getting his ass kicked. Now the husband,
even though he's like 6'5",
it's hilarious. Okay. They call him Moose, but Moose are powerful and Sam gets his ass whooped at every.
More like Bullwinkle Moose.
Yeah. Paper Tiger. Now, the husband is quickly healed from his injuries. Dean does not, in fact, leave Sam. However, once he gets decoupled to safety, he wakes up in a hospital after getting tased by a cop. We see the husband was bit. Oh, boy. The wife gives Dean her condolences, and naturally, Dean then intentionally overdoses so he can talk to Death and get Sammy back. He, of course, gives the wife instructions how to bring him back. Enter Billy. Dean learns Sam isn't even dead and Billy is there to reap him. Oh, Billy.
Which is hilarious. I loved her until the end. She's the major bad guy, and she interrupts. Cass's
she was always.
But I did love her. She was like, I'm not putting up with your bullshit anymore. Like, Death thought you guys were funny. I'm not so
I do
intrigued.
like that. Well, because she was a Reaper, obviously, and she was there, and Dean, the whole thing with them, and then she becomes Death because Dean kills Death. Stupid. And yeah,
Death wanted him to kill Sam.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, overall, I get it. I just love that iteration of Death because I don't really care for her either. Once she becomes Death, she kind of gets this arrogance about her
not
too.
A fan of the Winchesters, which is
fair. They cause Death and the Reapers a lot of trouble. Yes, and just in the nick of time, Dean wakes up, escapes the hospital while Sammy escapes where they left him after stealing the werewolf's ride and making it to the Impala. Sam tries to warn Dean about the husband. His service is awful. The werewolf husband kills the doctor and the cop, tries to turn the wife because he is loving the werewolf feeling. Woo! And this is when Dean comes in. Haha, not on my watch. And then Sam, who takes the husband out. Dean lies to Sam and does not tell him about Billy.
Oh, are we really doing that?
Which comes to really not pay off later on when Sam has to go through Billy's things and all of that. Or is it Dean that goes? It's Dean because it's all the books of how everybody dies.
Yeah, that's later on, but yeah.
That is later.
But no, I think I love Billy's introduction because she's singing like "Oh Death," which was the song that Death was introduced to, and is one of the best intros of any.
She does have a badass introduction. I will give her that.
And she's always just so like graceful and just so.
She speaks very calm.
Yes, so I love her demeanor. It's just in the last season she's the bad guy. She's she's up there with Chuck.
Even though, like Chuck's out there and God's out there, same one and the same, doing all this bad stuff, but Death just has this petty vendetta against the Winchesters that she can't set aside for 2 minutes.
When people try to kill Dean. That's all it is. Or Cass.
I mean, she kind of helps them out, but she helps them out to a degree, but only because she was being instructed to.
Yes.
But then
and we even
Death,
see that in the finale of this. She shows up. She's like, "What the hell are y'all doing?" But we'll talk about that when we get there. So
right, yeah. What are some fun facts?
We don't have too many on this. Both the husband and the doctor were repeat guests of the show. Dean calls Sam mostly dead, which we have to assume is a nod to Wesley when he was in The Princess Bride. He was mostly dead, but not fully dead.
Oh.
Some people like to look at this as a little bit of foreshadowing when the wife is talking with Dean and he's like, "Are you going to be okay?" And she's like, "Well, there's no normal after watching the man you love die." Obviously, after Dean watches Cass die, a lot of people say into that like Dean never comes back from that. But I mean, this was a good episode. I liked how they went back and forth. And obviously, you see Sammy die. He's not dead. Like, we all know that's not going to stay.
Obviously.
Right. But it was a cool way how they did it. And again, this was the overall story was about Amara and they had a standalone story. So those are always enjoyable, I think, because it's as long as it's done
agree.
well.
And I like when, they bring them, like Dean most often is the one that brings them to the brink of death's doorstep too. We saw it with, how he went to sleep with Freddy Krueger and all these other things. He's the one
sleep with Freddy Krueger.
You know what I meant.
I know what you mean, but that was just a funny way to phrase it.
Yes. And
as one does.
Who doesn't go to sleep with Freddy Krueger?
For anybody who doesn't remember, the actor who plays Freddy Krueger played a doctor who put Dean...
Robert Englund, yes.
Quote unquote, killed Dean so he could go talk to Death seasons past. So yeah.
Yes. Dean likes to get down with the death. Dean can't get drunk, Dean can't get high, but Dean can certainly get a buzz from almost dying apparently. But yeah, no, you're right. I don't know. Never
really. Well, he gets high.
Well, he does. I'm just saying, like, he doesn't get that. He doesn't get that feeling like he does from almost being dead, apparently, because he keeps doing it.
You're only living if you're almost dead.
Just like, but he's over here like, Sam, don't drink the demon blood. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go fake kill myself and get real close to death.
So I have been watching the Countdown show. I'm only like 2, maybe 3 episodes in. And in the show, Jensen's character has a brain tumor. And he makes a comment about like,
it's not a tumor.
You're not living unless you're dying or you're about to die or something. And somebody's like, what?
How is that show? Are they using him wisely in that show?
Yeah, I think they are. I'm not a big fan of cop shows. So like, I'm not like all invested.
I can't get into those kind of shows either. They're just kind of same thing over and over, in my opinion. So,
and I don't watch everything that these characters are in, but I kept seeing clips and I kept seeing like nods to the show.
Misha Collins has been championing the show a lot So I will give him that. Misha's been a real bro about it.
But I mean, I'm enjoying it. But again, I think I'm 3 episodes in. So I mean,
Interesting.
it's not a terrible show. But if Jensen wasn't in it, like
It
if they
just
kill Jensen, I will stop
it
watching
literally
immediately.
feels as though it's one of those just generic cop shows, but Jensen's in it, and that's like what they're hoping to get people on board with.
Well, one of the things that's nice about it being a cop show, because again, I don't love these, is the fact that it's on Prime. So there's cursing in it. There's actual talking. It's not a
Yeah,
screw
fair.
you kind of show like Supernatural.
Hey, eat rocks, man.
Yeah, so they're talking about, real things, and you see real stuff and whatnot. But
That's a good point.
no, I'm enjoying it. I'm not completely sucked in. And again, if Jensen wasn't in it, I wouldn't be watching it. But I did see a thing. And so Jensen and Misha were at a con recently and did a panel together. And apparently when they shot the scene of Jensen, Misha, and Jared for The Boys season 5, they did a take where they pretended to be Sam, Dean, and Castiel. And if that doesn't get released after the show comes out, we riot.
I'm sorry. We just get
I can't wait to see that blooper.
You're wasting Jensen's talents, putting him in an Amazon Prime cop show when he could be doing so many other things.
Well, he's starting Bot Rising filming starts next month.
It does. I know. I'm just he's getting paid. He's doing what he loves. So this is just me being a petty bitch in that I just want the man either as Batman or I want to see him doing some dope stuff in cinema. I really feel as though he should be I want to watch that man on the big screen. Okay.
He could pull, I feel like it would be a good Star Wars too, because like his hair these days is it's got a little 70s
He would
vibe.
honestly, if he played like a bounty hunter in a Star Wars show or movie, that's what I could really see him doing. He has that bounty hunter demeanor and
yes, he could play a Mandalorian, but he's got to take his helmet off.
He shouldn't be a Mandalorian. He should be I don't
bounty hunter.
I don't think he should, well, that's what I'm saying. I just mean in some shape or form, he should be. I think he would be better as somebody not like a Jedi. I feel as though he is somebody who could wield gun. Yeah. Or he's too like, I don't know.
Or he'd
like
be
rugged.
an amazing Jedi.
He can portray the ruggedness.
He'd be like Qui-Gon. Like, because he's not one-sided.
Maybe.
Maybe we need him in, a proper
Let's get into Hell's Angel here on episode 18, which is Crowley gets the horn of Joshua, touched by the hand of God, all while trying to hide from Lucifer's henchmen. Rowena is trying to, quote unquote, help Amara, who's not fully buying it, but now she is actually terrified of Lucifer, and Crowley still thinks she's dead. Meanwhile, Cassifer heads to heaven to reign over the angels. He offers his services to stop darkness. As Crowley, Sam, and Dean try to figure out a plan, Dean and Sam argue over whether Cass should be exorcised first or not. Dean, of course, wanting Cass safe. Before Lucifer attacks Amara, Rowena spies on the boys. Lies to Amara, saying they're not sure what to do. Rowena then sends a message to the boys and Crowley that she is indeed alive. She goes to them. They summon Cassifer. Dean unsuccessfully tries to pull Cass out. Lucifer walks out of the ring of fire. Burn, burn, burn. Anyway,
ring of
Crowley possesses Cass as well, and he's getting his ass kicked by Lucifer as Crowley does. Cass is just chilling watching TV during this. Fun fact.
Mark Pellegrino actually shows up in the mind of Jimmy Novak's body.
He's back. And Crowley sends a message to help. Sam exorcises Crowley out of Cass. Lucifer is about done with these knuckleheads. Amara then shows up, followed by Rowena. Cassifer uses the horn on Amara and nada. She then takes Cassifer, dips out, peace out. Amara thinks Chuck may show if she tortures Lucifer. She's trying to get back at her brother. Her brother's an a-hole, man. Meanwhile, Rowena really is earning my respect at this point. I admittedly was not a Rowena fan, but she at this point is helping out the boys, and she really grew on me, man, around season 11.
I mean, I love that because when you first said you didn't like Rowena, I was very surprised. But she's only really in it for herself until I feel like season 15.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, and what's cute too is, rewatching some of this stuff. One, knowing how it ends is interesting. Yes. And two, like knowing in this season is when you first get your scenes with Rowena and Chuck together, knowing they're now like engaged with a baby and stuff is super cute because they are. Yeah, so we'll get to that shortly, but they have the conversation where she's flirting with Chuck. And Crowley says, "I'm not going to call you dad." And it's like now they're actually engaged, which is super cute.
Interesting. Okay.
I hope he calls him dad now.
I that would be amazing. That would be hilarious. And again, I met Ruth at MegaCon. She's such a sweet lady. Loved her too, and I love her.
She's like this big. She's so freaking tiny.
She is tiny. Yeah, she really is, man. But what fun facts did you have for this episode?
So Misha Collins, I actually learned this on the Then and Now podcast. He actually asked Mark Pellegrino, who is the main Lucifer, the one we know as Lucifer. He goes, "Do you have any tips on how I can act like you?" Because he wants
he's
this
supposed to be
character to be
possessed by him.
consistent. Yeah. And Mark told Misha that he is always looking at everyone as if he's trying to figure out whether he wants to kill them or have relations with them. So
That's
it's
a good
fun
nod.
little F, Mary,
You can
kill
see
kind of
that
thing.
actually too. You see it a little bit more because Cass kind of has that doughy-eyed look to him normally.
Yeah.
And I will say, as Lucifer, you can see he's more pierced with his eyes and his gaze and everything like that.
Yeah, he looks down and up more so.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah. And his voice is more Misha Collins' voice.
Yes.
It's not the Castiel voice that Misha
Castiel's
has
voice is a little
created.
higher.
Well,
Versus,
it's deeper. He's like,
Dean? Yeah. Oh, he's like,
is that you?
That's right. He's just softer talking.
Which I've heard has not been good for his vocal cords.
I don't doubt it.
Misha actually improvised some of the scenes when he's in heaven. Like when he straddles the one angel, that was improvised. And there's another angel in the background trying not to laugh. It is blurred because I read that fun fact and I always like to see those things before I say them.
Same.
But you can see him kind of in the background smiling, but it is blurry. He also apparently improvised the line, "He who hesitates disintegrates." This is a fantastic line, man. Come on.
It's true. It is.
He always borders on the side of he sexualizes everything. Is it getting a little phallic in here? Which is extra hilarious when you learn that Jack's mom is who he lost his virginity to. So Lucifer's still a virgin at this point. Let that in mind.
He is.
Which is funny.
Well, that's
And
typical.
also
No, but that is
creates a little
typical
bit of,
virgin
an
talk.
innocence.
Look at American Pie in any media in the 2000s, or I even remember as teenagers, all of us just always constantly making jokes like that, and a lot of people I knew were all virgins too. That's typical virgin talk. I feel like that bro-y virgin talk. If that makes sense, I guess it would make more sense if you grew up in the early 2000s, late 90s, where over that time period where these jokes were more prevalent and things like that in pop culture. But that's what I felt and get from that.
Yeah, it's super cute.
Why don't you take us to the next episode of 19?
So the next episode of 19 is called The Chitters. So we start with a flashback of two brothers. The younger one is talking about a boy he had a crush on, while the older one warns him to be careful. But they also talk about how they're going to get out of this judgmental small town they're in. Suddenly, the older brother is something else. He's turned into a monster. Now we jump to current time. Dean is obsessing over finding Cass, so Sam again suggests, let's take a case in the meantime. People are missing just like they did 27 years ago in this small town. They talked to someone who saw something, but however, she was on a cannabis tour and she was very high, but she saw eyes that looked weird and it had a junkless crotch. So that's what she tells Dean. She doesn't say junkless. Dean volunteers that, which is not the first time he said that. And I have to imagine it is a nod to Kevin Smith in Dogma, because the first time he used the term junkless was referring to angels.
Yeah, dude. It was, yes.
Okay. So she found her friend again, but she was shivering and chittering. So she's got the chitters. They go and talk to someone else who lost their husband in the last bout of disappearances 27 years ago. She tells them that her husband was seen diddling multiple people right around when he disappeared. He was diddling other missing persons. She then tells the boys that once a generation, people get the chitters and start having orgies in the woods and never to be seen again, because that's what her grandma told her.
Oh, so that's what happened to Diddy.
Dean naturally, of course, heads to the woods, and of course, he sees some of the monsters.
Of course he would. Dean said, orgies, I'm in.
He's like, well, usually monsters are Sam's thing, though, not Dean's. So Dean's out there, and he comes across a monster, and then two other hunters show up to save them, and it's the young boy who is now all grown up and his husband. So over some beers, they decide, let's catch up over some beers. Let's find out what we're fighting. And we learn that their names are Jesse and Cesar. Jesse is the younger boy whose older brother was turned into a chitter. So they learn a lot from them, because Jesse obviously has become obsessed with this because his older brother was his saving grace. It was the only one who he felt wasn't judging him for being gay. And his brother was trying to get him out of that very narrow-minded town. So they learn that this is very rare. They're called Bisan, which is a cicada spirit. And this is their reproduction cycle. Bisan need vessels to reproduce. Jesse then tells them about his brother, and then Sam and Jesse go talk to the old sheriff, who was the sheriff during the last bout, and Dean and Cesar go back to the wood. They actually find the burrow, and Sam and Jesse learn that the sheriff had found the burrow 27 years ago, back in 89, and his daughter was there. He thought she had just gone back to school. They asked, why didn't you report her missing? He's like, I knew where she was. And he retired after that, went up to the woods, and just kind of he couldn't move on from that either. Of course, Jesse's upset because he's like, dude, you could have told us. We could have ended this 27 years ago.
Yeah.
Jesse and Sam then meet up because the sheriff tells them where the burrow is, and Jesse finds his brother's corpse and they properly bury him or burn him. They decide they're going to ask the hunters for help with Amara. So they're like, I think Jesse and Cesar would actually be really great in helping with this. They seem like really good, capable hunters. However, before they get the chance, they start talking about how Jesse had agreed that once they closed this case, he would get some closure and they could move on and have a normal life. So they end up not asking because they feel like it would be wrong because a hunter making it to the finish line without dying is something you don't mess with.
Well, I mean,
This was a really sweet episode.
Absolutely, it was. And it was heartfelt too, because a lot of hunters, right, that are introduced into this series, you don't really get a lot of backstory in. And they're also one-dimensional characters where I feel these two had some depth to them, right? You know, they're out looking for what happened to his brother. And once that's done, hey, we can move on. Great. And that's kind of their out. Whereas looking in contrast to our brothers, Sam and Dean, they don't really have that ending point. Whereas these
they killed Yellow Eyes, but they kept going. So this is their Yellow Eyes.
They had their out. They
Yeah.
didn't take it. They continued on. Whereas Jesse and Cesar are, hey, we're taking the out. Let's get out of this. We can go build a life now. And so it's things like that make this episode good, because you do see the opposite side of the coin, and it's looking into a mirror of what if, essentially.
Yeah. Well, I wish we had gotten them back because I thought that they were both well versed. I would like to have seen them in something that they weren't like emotional about. And also we never got Cesar's backstory. Like, did he just get into hunting because he fell in love with Jesse?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know, because most hunters have a horrible backstory.
Somebody got killed, somebody they know died, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's always somebody close to them died. But I really like the chemistry too, especially because it was, you know, it would be as if Sam had lost Dean. That's what it was. It was
exactly.
Jesse lost his Dean. So I thought this was a fun spin. Like, it was a good break from the overall story. Great to meet new hunters, which I feel like we really haven't met any other hunters in a while.
You really don't. In the later seasons, I mean, you don't get a lot of new hunters that are really worthwhile.
And usually when we do, they're cannon fodder. So
exactly.
I'm glad they didn't
die
kill
right
them
away.
either.
Yeah,
it was
they're
nice.
Still out there. Who knows? Yeah, and some fun facts too.
Brazen horses.
They are. God, the dream. I want to buy a cow so bad after yesterday. that cow. I walked up this cow.
You eat burgers.
I don't care. This cow like licked my face and we bonded, and it posed up for pictures with me. It was the cutest thing ever, man.
Cows are pretty cute, yeah.
It was freaking adorable.
I don't know how people eat veal.
I went up to this tiny little pig and I started to pet him, and he just laid down and put up his belly, and I was just like, oh my God. Gosh, I'm a sucker. Anyways, the beer that Sam and Dean drink with the other hunters is called Ellie's Brew, which is a nod to the Blair Witch Project, whose director, Eduardo Sanchez, also directed this episode, explains the woods aspect a lot. Right. Yeah. Sheriff Tyson asks Sam and Dean if there is a bad case of Spanish fly going around. Fly. Spanish fly is an emerald green beetle in the blister beetle family. The beetles produce a terpene called cantharidin, which is a toxic blistering agent, but at one time was used as an aphrodisiac in ancient Greece.
Ooh.
Weird, man. We didn't have rhino pills at grocery stores.
They were going at it.
Then. It was common for the ground up carcasses of the beetle to be ingested before sexual intercourse. Weird. Nature is weird.
But in this, that was the whole thing.
Weird.
Like they were using humans to reproduce. They were diddling.
I hate that word.
Is that one? I'm not a fan of it.
I don't like that word. I'm going to be honest. I don't
like how Dean then asks her for like clarification as if they were having sex. And she's like, what does diddling mean to you?
I don't like that one. Yeah. Oh, gross.
That's weird.
The woman they interview was also the Western whore with cold sores in Frontierland. What?
You don't remember that in Frontierland?
No.
When they went back to like to the Western time to get the Phoenix ashes.
Oh no, I do. You're right.
And she came down and like, she was covered in cold.
She was a whore.
She was by definition. I wouldn't call a girl that just for funsies. Like,
I know.
No.
I don't know why it's just funny.
A prostitute, is that better?
There. Anyways, yeah. Let's go into episode 20. Don't call me Shirley. Come on, man. We know this one. Ugh. It's human Metatron dumpster diving. Gross. However, he shares his food with a dog. You're a dog. As he yells that he gives up, he's suddenly in a bar with Chuck. This is a good episode, mind you. Before learning Chuck is God, he shits all over the supernatural books. Chuck then shows himself and tells Metatron he wants him to read his autobiography and that he's never going to be an angel again. Metatron gives him some tips, most of which he doesn't love. Cut to the bunker. Dean is ironing clothes with a beer, and Sam found a case where he thinks they got some soulless people, courtesy of Amara. The boys go to check it out. The town is slowly engulfed with a heavy fog, not to be confused with Tom Welling's Fog movie. Those impacted by the fog can hear and are controlled by Amara. It's the infection from when she was first released. Back to Metatron and Chuck. Metatron tries to convince Chuck to stop Amara, tells Chuck that he's just hiding. He's a scared baby. Chuck's like, no, dude, I'm not hiding. I'm not watching my experiments fail anymore. As the fog spreads, an entire town is getting infected. Metatron then pleads for Chuck to not give up on humans because they will never give up. Chuck sings Fare Thee Well while Dean's Samulet lights up. Town is healed. The boys walk outside, and this is when they find out that Chuck is God.
Although Dean still doesn't buy it right away.
This is a good one.
Yeah, and I love when Chuck reveals himself, and it's because I grew up going to church, but they start singing like Lord of Lords and King of Kings. It's like, I loved that. And then the Fare Thee Well, if you enjoy listening to Chuck sing that Fare Thee Well version, there is a version of
he's
that
actually
on
a pretty
Spotify.
good musician.
Yeah, he's got a band, Loden Swain.
He does. Yeah, he's really solid, man.
And if you ever go to a con and you buy his CD for $20, the whole band will sign the cover, including Chuck himself. Whereas paying for just his signature is more than that. $20, you get a CD.
$20, little man.
God's signature. $20, little
God.
If
I did, I would do that just for the sole joke that why do you have a CD that's like sitting on your, whatever it is, God signed that. And then they would be so confused because they probably haven't seen Supernatural. And I'll be like, idiot, God signed it. Chuck.
Well, when his songs come on my Spotify playlist and it's on the TV, I tell the children that God has graced our house with his presence.
God has spoken.
They don't find it funny at all.
Oh, gosh. Well, going back to the episode, however, I do enjoy the old bar. It kind of makes me feel like it's an old Pizza Hut. I don't know why. Maybe it's the booths.
Oh, it's a significant bar. I don't remember why. He said a lot of famous... son of a nutcracker. I should have looked that up.
Well, they were sitting in the empty bar, and there really is a lot of good exposition written in this episode between these two. I don't like Metatron, but his actor, amazing. Both of them really have a lot of good exposition, especially when Metatron is finding out that this is God. He's been doing XYZ, and Chuck basically is giving up on humanity. This is Chuck more or less saying humanity is not worth it.
Kind of the beginning of the end.
Yeah, it really is, especially when he reveals himself to the boys. Because from this point on, God is essentially a bad guy to these guys. Mm-hmm. He doesn't. I mean, obviously, we get the whole episodes where he doesn't. They're no longer graced by God, but this is more or less when he's essentially done with them. He's done with humanity, all of that kind of stuff. And not for nothing, he is kind of afraid of Amara because he's an asshole to his sister, and she's back for revenge now. Thanks, Dean. But
yeah.
But
I love when he makes the comment about like I've recreated Castiel more times than I can count, and so it fills in some plot holes too of like how did Cass come back after he was exploded, and who put us on the plane?
Does
and
yeah.
So you always kind of
this answered a lot of my questions. I mean, I was like, how are these guys always dying, coming back? It's because God literally willed them.
God willed it. Yeah,
God willed it.
When he says more than 15, Well, and I loved the ironing with beer thing. It's such a small scene, and I think it's supposed to be funny. It
reminds me of old men.
But it's such a perfect example of the fact that Dean raised Sam, but he's still his brother. So it's like he's ironing his clothes. Like, did Sam ask him to iron his clothes? Did Dean just do that on his own? Is that just what Dean's always done, is iron Sammy's clothes?
It's a good point. Yeah,
but you're
100% right.
Beer, because it's his brother.
He's just I don't know why. It feels very just old man-like, where he's just with a beer... ironing. I guess
genuinely loved it.
The way I grew up,
I don't iron anything. So
I don't iron anything either.
I iron things with my hair straightener.
Oh, that's a good. I have a steamer. That's what I used to basically iron anymore.
I do have an iron, but I only use it to like make koozies and stuff with the.
I do have an iron still for rare occasions. It just reminds me more or less of my birth dad ironing his military uniform BDUs back in the day, or like my grandpa also ironing his uniform back in the day.
Yeah, there was a lot of ironing back in the day.
Well, yeah, you had to iron them all and starch them and all that kind of stuff, but you don't do that anymore.
I don't even know what starch.
Like it's like starch to make it. So like if once you iron it and you starch it, it keeps that iron like that crease. So say you like crease back in the day.
What is
you used to have your on military? I don't. It's basically a hairspray for clothes.
Oh, it's a spray.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know why I always imagined it was like pancake mix.
no, well, back
I
in
don't
the
know
day,
why.
well, you're thinking of cornstarch. That's probably
Oh,
why.
maybe. Okay.
But you would have your military uniforms that you would iron, and they would always love when military had their chevrons on their sleeves, they would always iron the crease in the arms would always be ironed, so that way it was like folded in half essentially, and they would starch stuff like that to make it stay. So it's essentially hairspray for your freaking clothes. I don't know, it's
Interesting.
stupid. We don't do
When
that.
I had to wear a suit every day, I just dry cleaned everything.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. Well, do you have any fun facts before we move to episode 21?
Do I have fun facts?
Mhm.
I do. I have quite a few. So
You got a
while
lot on
talking to
this one.
Metatron, Chuck says he was busy writing another book series called Revolution. Revolution was actually a TV show written by Eric Kripke, who is the creator and writer of Supernatural.
Yes.
I love that they still kept Kripke like very close to home because at this
Oh,
point
yeah,
he wasn't
same.
a showrunner anymore.
No.
So the fake agent names in this episode that the Winchesters use are Greer and a Hart, which are the names of the band or names of people from the band Kansas who sing "Carry On," the unofficial theme song of Supernatural. The title of this episode is a play on a running joke from the 1982 comedy film Airplane. Which aren't we getting another one with Liam Neeson?
No, that's
That's Naked Gun.
Naked
Okay.
Gun, which is out, I think, in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
they've been promoting pretty heavily. Yes. I was like, wait, no. For a second, I thought you said Leslie.
I think I
And
always
was like,
combine
wait,
these
he's
two.
dead.
Leslie, well, because he was the one in
Liam
Naked Gun.
Neeson is the one doing Naked Gun now, along with Pamela Anderson. She's also
But
in it.
Leslie Nelson, isn't he the original one?
He is, yes.
All right, so I think, yeah, okay. So anyways, in Airplane, a character says when told something that was hard to accept, he says, "Surely you can't be serious," to which he responds, "I am serious. Don't
It just
call
reminds me of the
Shirley."
Regal ad. I don't know if you remember the Regal ad, but there was this whole thing is they would just do awful movie quotes, and Carrie hated it.
Oh, it was terrible. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So bad. Yes.
It was like before
I was
the
still living
movies,
in Idaho. Yeah. Before they started putting
that was
20 minutes of
god-awful.
stupid soda ads and then the previews and then it's, yeah.
And they were quoting no, I'm glad I
Yeah.
haven't seen that in a while.
You can't sit with us.
Right.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, man. Yes. So Chuck actually tells Metatron that the last time he saw a look like that on an editor's face, he had just handed in Bugs, which is, of course, a nod to Bugs being one of the most poorly rated episodes of Supernatural. Actually, Bloodlines is number 1. The finale is number 3. Oof. Imagine being the finale being your worst rated episode, but
okay, so
Leslie
Nielsen is in Airplane, but he's also in Naked Gun, which is probably why I get them confused.
That's most likely why. Yeah, he did both. But now we're just going to get Liam Neeson doing Airplane next after the Naked Gun.
There you go.
Yes. Liam Neeson has moved on from The Taken to in Qui-Gon Jinn, and now he's just doing parodies of movies, which
good for him.
Get the bag, dude. Get the bag. Now,
Love to
episode 21, All in the Family, we pick right up with Chuck again as Dean doubts Chuck is God. He snaps them to the bunker. Kevin suddenly appears. This is sad. Chuck moves Kevin from the veil to what looks like heaven. We then learn later it is actually hell.
Like
Dean
4 seasons later.
Yes. Yeah, when you were always telling me that Kevin has a really sad backstory.
I'm like, no, it gets sadder.
How does it get worse? Well, guess what? Kevin gets sent to hell because God's a dick. Mm-hmm. And Dean replies with a proper holy crap. As Sam and Dean process what is going on, Dean asks him where the hell he's been and why is he staying so silent. Chuck explains how much he used to step in and it did nothing. So he decided to step away. As Dean continues to blame Chuck, he tells Dean not to confuse him with his father. This is when they then cut to Amara torturing Cassifer. Yeah. Back to Chuck and the boys are brainstorming. Amara shows herself to Dean in the bunker with a very beat up Cassifer, and a new prophet has awakened. This is Donatello. This guy's a trip, man. Donatello is such a weird trip inclusion, but he's around to like the whole thing. So named after the sculpture, not the Ninja Turtle, okay? While talking to Donatello, Amara shows herself again to Dean, saying she needs to talk to him. They take Donnie boy to the bunker where Chuck is watching TV and eating Chinese in his underwear. Metatron reaches out, tells the boys that Chuck is going to give in to Amara. Dean then confronts him, and Chuck says that he's going to do that only if Amara spares the world. All right, okay, we can work with this. As Dean questions, Chuck explains that it's why he has saved Dean all those years ago. He and the other chosen ones are his firewall between light and darkness. Dean then insists it has to be Chuck. So to get Cassifer from Amara, Dean reaches out to distract her. She tells him she wants to be wants him to be a part of her. Dude should have took the deal, man. Yeah.
No, but that would mean him disappearing, like her, how she eats
Disappearing
souls.
in her? Yeah.
No, that's not. But
I
it's
know. I know. Okay. Metatron, Sam, and Donnie get Cassifer. Amara then realizes it's a distraction as others try to leave. Metatron attempts to redeem himself. He stays behind to stop her. And this is when he dies.
Womp womp. We don't really care, but
You're supposed to care, but you don't. Amara stops baby. Chuck teleports the whole car.
see, I feel like, okay, so with Metatron, and like Dean even says it, he's like, wow, Metatron took one for the team. I didn't see that coming. I don't think we were supposed to be like, wow, what a good guy in the end.
I
Because, like,
absolutely hope not, because
killed Dean.
well,
You don't come back
Metatron was
then.
never a good dude. They have spent seasons upon seasons explaining to us that Metatron was such a dick and he was awful, that
He
this
just-
death
yeah.
he just dies. And
I
I
was
think
okay
that
with it.
almost though, and sometimes art, sorry, go ahead. I'm getting
No,
into
that's
it.
it.
Oh, I was just saying that like sometimes in art they just have that unceremonious death that I actually think it's kind of one of those where you're not even relieved. It's just that it's the sometimes the perfect ending to a character that is such an a-hole who thinks they're so much more important than they are, that when they die in such a just wet balloon kind of way,
Right,
you
it was
know,
proper.
yeah, that's the death you deserved. And I do almost feel like that's what they're kind of were going for. There wasn't supposed to invoke any reaction from us. It was, he's dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And it was just kind of like, huh, we didn't see that coming.
No,
Which
we
is
didn't at
exactly
all.
how Dean felt. But it was interesting because he just wanted to save humanity because he enjoyed the books, he enjoyed the movies, he enjoyed what humanity created, but it never made him love humanity until he thought humanity was going to be taken away.
Which is, you don't know what you have until it's gone. One of
Yeah.
those things, you know? Your fun fact here, that the title is from a sitcom in the 70s. It's also a Korn song, which features Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. Sometimes I get in these, I don't even know what kind of moods where I need to listen to Limp Bizkit, and it's just one of those days.
Break your face tonight.
That's
Give
motherfucking
me something
chainsaw.
great. Yeah.
I'll skin your
That's
ass
one of my
raw.
favorites.
Oliver loves break stuff, and Carrie for the first time, how does he know that? And I go, that's my fault. I was playing it in the car, and he's over there singing it, and I'm just, whatever, man.
We had it
Seems
on
like a
in the
little
car
hard
the
now.
other day, and Josh and I were yelling all the words.
I'm gonna break your face.
Give me something to break. So yes, so we
Anyways.
see the whole Kevin scene though is very interesting because I feel like God was being very passive aggressive, and he is like, "Look, I'm doing something to
God
show
is petty.
you that I'm on your side." Kevin vouches for him, and then he sends him to hell,
Which
like
is
that is batshit
such
crazy.
a messed up thing, dude. And again, this is when you're really sitting there like, dude, God's a
But we don't know that for literal
Well,
years.
right.
And so
We
it's
don't
so-
know that
but-
Kevin got sent to hell. We don't know what happened.
But he was kind of guilted by Metatron to go help him. So I feel like he was like, fine, I'll go make it look like I'm helping, but I'm not actually going to help. I'm going to send their little Kevin advanced placement to hell. I mean, at least in Kevin's defense, he got some good street cred because not many people get sent to hell directly by God.
True. But also, like, Kevin doesn't deserve any. It is crazy.
I have to assume that Jack took Kevin out of the veil again and properly put him in heaven. And that is one of the characters I truly feel if they had been able to give the proper 2020 ending they wanted to before COVID.
That's why we need
would have seen
freaking
Kevin with Mrs. Tran.
This is why we need it to reboot for a few more seasons, if
something
not
in
more.
all of us can.
I know. We all.
Anyways, so also I thought it was very interesting because when Dean is talking to God, when Chuck is like, "You're my firewall," Dean's like, give me a vampire. I'm good. I can't go up against the darkness. Well, Dean, no, a vampire ends up killing you.
Which, oh God.
Spoilers.
All right.
Rhubarb.
Episode 22, We Happy Few, which is appropriate after talking about that death and finale, while Dean and Sam try to get Lucifer and Chuck to talk so that they can take down Amara. Crowley is back, and he's trying to make hell great again. Oh boy. 100% tariffs on anybody improperly sent to hell from God. Chuck then explains to Lucifer that he gave him the mark because he thought he could handle it. When it corrupts him, his favorite son, he punished Lucifer. So in a roundabout way, they make up, but not really. They make up enough to work together. They strategize. Dean gets Crowley. Cass comes out to get the angels. They also then get Rowena and her powerful witch friends. Meanwhile, Amara is torturing Donnie, takes his soul, so now she knows where everybody's at. and she ends up at the bunker, sees a picture of Dean and Mary. Rowena reaches out to lure Amara in, and they all attack at once. Aha! Sneak attack. Pocket sand. Or pocket witch. Well, with the plan to have Sam carry the mark this time, they attack. Amara is then weakened. Chuck is apologetic, but as he goes to cage her again, she grabs him, pulls Lucifer out of Cass, takes the sun away, and vows to destroy it all.
We think she took the sun away. That's what is implied.
Yes.
But it's really just because Chuck is dying.
Man.
But I mean, I feel like we've seen that before. It's like, don't put me back in that cage. Kill me before you do that. I will not go back in that cage. And I don't blame her. She was alone for that's a long solitary confinement. Okay, so some fun facts.
It's true.
Crowley sang "Let's Make Hell Great Again." This episode came out in May of 2016 when Trump was running with the slogan "Make America Great Again," so that was an intentional nod to that. The title of this episode, We Happy Few, is a direct quote from the play Henry V by William Shakespeare. It is from the pre-battle speech that King Henry V delivers right before the Battle of Agincourt, often referred to as, quote, the St. Crispin's Day speech, end quote. The full line from the speech is, "We few, we happy few, we band of brothers." Henry is delivering this speech to his men in an effort to try to express love for them, try to hype them up, and really try to get them going because he knows they're severely outnumbered by the French army, and he also knows that the French army is better prepared because they've been traveling through the night and all this stuff. So
yeah,
it's like, hey, we know we're the underdog. When Amara rips Lucifer out of Cass, you can actually see Mark Pellegrino's face for a second.
Ooh, I didn't know that. That was cool.
Check this because I did not pick that up. So I'm like watching it on my phone. And I'm like, play, pause, play, pause, play, pause. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, there's
you can. That's cool.
You can see it, yeah.
I love little details like that.
Yeah, 100%. Chuck mentions in this episode, which I thought was very interesting. This is not a fun fact. This is something I noticed. He can't bring Gabriel back because they're like, what about archangels? And he's like, well, I can't bring Gabriel back. They're like, you brought Cass back so many times. He's like, archangels are hard to rebuild. Gabriel's not dead. He's trapped in hell by the
that's right.
Kentucky Fried Chicken guy or whatever.
Oh, God, that guy was a trip, too.
So I thought that was very interesting that Chuck can't pick up that Gabe is still alive. I thought
that was interesting, too, because he comes back later down the road again.
Yes. Yeah, because he... because he's around when Jack is around. He meets Jack. Yeah. And I love when Chuck calls Rowena one of his guilty pleasures because that is now his soon-to-be wife and baby mama.
That's true. That is true. This sets up, you're basically thinking the sun is gone. Oh, God, how did they get out of this? Amara has been pissed off, which leads us into the finale, which is Alpha and Omega. They are all licking their wounds. Chuck can feel his light is fading, and Castiel is back. Woo-hoo! Chuck snaps them back to the bunker, and Dean pulls out a six-pack, as one probably should do at this point, because what else are you going to do, right? So...
Maybe he had laundry to iron.
That's true. He's ironing so many laundries. Cass and Dean go for a ride where Dean tells Cass he's their brother. Back to bunker! This was a good, sweet moment between Dean and Cass, by the way. That's why when Cass is telling Dean he loves him, that I never took it as anything more like some of those people who write fan fiction did, because it's Dean saying, hey, dude, you're our brother. You were my brother, Anakin.
Misha Collins has come out and said that that Castiel is gay, that this was a professional.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't seen
that.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, never mind. I didn't care. I don't care either way, but that's just how
He even said, you're the one thing I want. The one thing I want, I know I can't have.
Oh.
Yeah. Misha's come out and clarified. No, he was in love with Dean. And they, in fact,
how could you not be?
Misha knew, I want to say a year and a half before it was filmed, but Jensen didn't know until a few months before it was filmed that they were going in that direction. So they ran it by the boys before they actually took it in that direction.
Spoiler alert. Anyways, Chuck is dying, so now that they can kill Amara, and quickly, because the sun is dying, Rowena comes up with the idea for a ghost bomb. Kaboom. So the boys go ghost busting to collect.
They really do, because they're like, it's like they might as well have the thing from Ghostbusters.
I know. Billy sees them busting ghosts right before the credits are about to roll.
Feel good.
She's very curious. So she shows up to the bunker, helps them get more souls. Meanwhile, Amara is talking to a human and looks sad as the world begins to die off. Dean offers to be the bomb as Rowena, he is the bomb to be fair, as Rowena puts all of the ghosts inside of him. The Ghosts Inside, great band. Now, the boys have a moment at their mom's tombstone, then foreshadowing Dean says bye to Cass and Sam, and Chuck sends him off. She senses the bomb immediately. They then talk it out. Dean talks about his family because he, of course, he's going to show up in Fast and Furious 11. Amara summons Chuck, heals him. They then bond, and Chuck takes the bomb out of his chest and says that they're leaving and Earth will be fine because it has Dean and Sam. Chuck and Amara vanish, but not before Amara says that Dean gave her what she needed. Oh, she wanted to return the favor.
Her brother, not a gross way.
Back at the bunker, the asshole British lady blasts Castiel away, takes Sam, cut to Dean. He finds Mary in a nightgown. God, this was such a great episode until Mary Winchester came back because I spent all of season 12.
Now we get the freaking men of letters, and I hated that lady. I hated that lady until right before she died.
I also hated the British Men of Letters storyline. Everybody has beef with the freaking Leviathans, but my beef is with this whole Men of Letters storyline in Mary Winchester. Okay, no offense to the actress.
Oh, I don't love Mary Winchester at all. No, I love Samantha Smith.
Samantha Smith, you're great, honey. You're great. Oh my God, I could have done without the British Men of Letters. That entire storyline, because then that gives us that douchebag, and then it gives us this annoying ass lady. She is so annoying.
I hate her so much.
I distinctly remember texting you about how much I hated her. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I'm sorry.
I've heard people make comments of I think it's really funny that season 11 of Supernatural, the big bad villain is just British people.
Oh, the Brits.
Funny. But what's funny is so at this time I was still watching on Netflix, so I wasn't fully caught up.
I watched on Netflix too. Duh.
Season 11 though was airing at the time when I was still catching up, and so I saw a trailer when I was watching Arrow or something. I saw a trailer and it was this British lady and Sam in bed together because she was messing with his mind. And I remember thinking oh, Sam has a girlfriend. Oh, that's fun. And then when I got to the episode, I'm like, oh,
Sam, that's your girlfriend, dude.
Woof,
dude.
No,
Sam, your girlfriend. Woof.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a heartfelt ending, although I didn't fully hate God yet at this point, but I didn't.
No, we weren't supposed to.
But you kind of, there was some armor cracks, cracks in the armor there. And so you're essentially all right. And then Amara disappears for sure. Okay. Well, cool. Great. But then, yeah, dude, I'm not looking forward to season 12 because I do not like these people at all.
I like 13.
13, 14, good. 15 was great. And then the finale. But
when we
season 12 wasn't bad. There's good episodes. I just do not for this storyline.
I think one of the things I hated about Mary too was she was very cold to Cass.
Yeah.
And it was your sons have vouched for him.
Sucked.
He would literally lay down his life for your sons, which he's done before. And not just Dean. He'd lay down his life for Sam too. Yeah. And you're still hesitant.
This is what we're still.
And then she's dude. The demon and his witch mother. Back the fuck off, bitch.
Oh, God, I just hate Mary Winchester.
Well, so season 12 might just be some venting.
Season 12 is going to be cathartic for everybody. Unless,
I know some people are well, she was used to being in heaven with her 4-year-old and her infant. And this is her 4-year-old and her infant.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll get there. I think my favorite, I do want to mention this, because anytime we talk about the Book of the Damned, I have to say it the way Dean says it, how Rowena says it, because I love that. He's like, oh, but all those blimey ghosts and with the Book of the Damned. And I love that.
I do. I agree. That I love Dean, man. I love Rowena. So to me, it's more of an endearing mocking, even though it's probably kind of more.
100%. They're starting to come around to her at that point. I think
exactly.
He's just having fun with her accent. Yes.
Getting close together, because before Dean would have just talked crap to her and tried to kill her. But now he's actively mocking her in a sense that it's okay, yeah, Dean. And
Sam kind of looks at him like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I love how Sam and Rowena's relationship develops.
I really do too. That is one of my favorite things about these back half seasons is the relationship that Sam and Rowena have together. Mm-hmm. I do love that, and sweet. I wish there was more, because she almost becomes that motherly figure to him. They're very good together. I don't know why. I would have loved to have seen more of them together.
Yeah, they are good together. I did love that as well. How she became a mentor.
Yeah,
and I loved when they brought Eileen back too. We're jumping ahead.
Don't even get me started.
Listen, in my head is Sam's wife.
Yes, and I was already on a soapbox talking about how I hate the British Men of Letters, so we can end there. go ahead. We are done with season 11. We will move to season 12 as we work our way through summer. We have until September for the 20th anniversary.
we have 4 seasons to do. 12, 13.
We got to get moving then. All right. We're going to get moving. All right. We are for you guys and for us. The 20th anniversary is in September. We will get there. Make sure you check out our episode this coming Monday on the Fantastic Four comic book origins. You can find us on social media. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. Join us on Discord. Patreon.com/HopsGeekNews is where we're at. And come talk Supernatural. There's not enough Supernatural talk in our Discord for us to, I want more of it. I do, because I do want to talk more about this stuff.
We haven't finalized exactly what our topic is going to be that we're going to submit to MegaCon too. I feel like I had an idea during MegaCon and I forgot.
They haven't. So I've been looking and they don't have their press or panel stuff up yet.
Right. But I was trying.
We should absolutely solidify this beforehand. So
we're ready to go.
Talk. So we are going to be back at MegaCon. Unfortunately, San Diego didn't work out. I am bummed about that, but the next convention, maybe you'll see us. Who knows what's going on? I don't think I have any more conventions. Lauren doesn't for the rest of this year.
I think my next convention might be MegaCon in March.
It might be March. We were looking at C2E2, but it's all within the same week of each other, so not going to be able to make that work. But who knows what is on the horizon?
Yeah,
if
MegaCon
you want to set a
home
convention
panel makes more sense.
You can also just let your conventions know that you want us to host a panel. That would be cool. If anybody, the 3 people that listen to this, if you're like, hey, I would love a Supernatural panel hosted by Matt and Lauren.
They'll be like, who the hell are Matt and Lauren?
They'll be like, what? And then you just link our stuff and we're talking Supernatural. And listen, I don't want to brag, but we tend to get Supernatural. Come on, man. We got
tend to get 10 people in there.
No.
We had more than 10 because we
have a pretty full room each time.
Bring 5 people with us.
You're right. We get 15.
My mom,
half
my
of them
daughters.
Anyways. Come on, Lauren. God dang it. We're ruining our street cred. The 3 people that listen to this, if you want to see us at a con, let us know. Otherwise, we'll be at MegaCon in March. But we'll talk to you about Supernatural and all these other good stuff soon. Peace out. Girl Scout!